Hey everyone, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. In this case, taking a look at the Victorinox Hiker, which is the multi-tool that I have in this box. Victorinox has it used to a certain level of quality that we sometimes take for granted, and we really shouldn't. Victorinox has been around since 1884. They know what they're doing in terms of knives. Sometimes they are so common that we think, that there's nothing special about them. There actually is a lot of special things going on in Victorinox. First of all, the quality. The quality of Victorinox is simply excellent. Within its obvious limitations of size, form factor, and such, it performs admirably well. That's why the Hiker is actually one of their best-selling multi-tools. The Tinker that I've previously reviewed is also sells very well. Which one is it? The Spartan. The Spartan is one of their best-selling multi-tools. Their best-selling pocket knives of all times, as well as the Small Classic. And there's a reason for that. You get a ton of knife. You get a ton of pocket knife, but small tools for the money. This one is just under 20 bucks. I saw it right now in Amazon, $19.51 in a combo with a small sharpener. $19.51 in Amazon right now. I'll leave the link there below. Why is it that it's one of the best-selling Victorinox models? Well, because of this amount of tools you get, and you're not getting, anything you don't need really, and you're getting quite a bit of useful ones. First of all, of course, you have your main large blade, famous already, and this is a 58mm blade. Doesn't lock into place, but listen to that. Sharply, that slip joint gets the job done. And it's going to be doing, 95% of the tasks you could possibly need a pocket knife for. Is that safe to say? Yes, it is. Besides that, of course, you have a small spare blade. The small blade, I actually like that because as time goes by, guys, your Victorinox will be showing wear. Being the quality it is, it's not going to be disappearing anytime soon, but as years go by, as decades go by, it starts looking more and more like this. This is my Spartan, by the way. So the small blade has that purpose of it's not being used nearly as much as you use the larger blade for general tasks and jobs, but you keep that smaller one for more delicate tasks, for more delicate cuts. You have, of course, your big flat screwdriver, cap lifter, bottle opener, and a wire stripper. And the large screwdriver can be used for a little bit of prying, unless you go nuts and do something very forcefully on it. It should be holding on nicely. Locks in a 90-degree angle as well. Sometimes I found that to be useful. Sometimes in a harder to reach place. It is just good to have it. Then you have the can opener, one of the most handy and most useful can openers I've seen from all multi-tools and pocket knives. You have that small flat screwdriver, which also works for certain smaller Phillips screwdrivers as well. You don't have much of a reach, but in a small Phillips screwdriver, you might get lucky. Of course, being the Hiker model, instead of having the corkscrew, you have a large Phillips screwdriver. I personally prefer having the Phillips screwdriver instead of having the corkscrew. I don't know. I don't really drink much wine at all, and from a survival perspective, how desperate am I going to be needing of opening a bottle of wine compared to having to disassemble or make a repair in equipment, in a gadget, in some appliance of some kind? That I think it's a little bit more useful and more likely to be needed in an emergency situation or on generally repair tasks. You have also your owl punch, which is good enough for drilling holes in wood, plastic, that sort of thing. Yes, it does the job well because it's pretty sharp, has a nice tip. It also has that hole there for threading a piece of cord and sewing, maybe making some repairs, sewing leather or some other thicker fabric. It's not a needle, but it does have its uses in some cases. Honestly, I think I've never actually used something like this for repairs. Maybe it's because I had something better to do it with, but it is one of those things that I like knowing at least I have it. And finally, you have your saw. And at least to me, the saw is one of those nice additions. The saw works very, very well. If you've handled Victorinoxes before, the saw really, it does get the job done. I have a saw here in my German Army knife, Victorinox, which is the one I usually carry with me. But look at the difference. Here you have quite a bit, not a lot, but you do have a little bit more saw. And this one with the smaller teeth is going to be doing better in dry wood. Now, take into account, it is, of course, this is a 111 millimeter format. This is a 91 millimeter format. So in a smaller knife, having just a little bit more of a saw, that's pretty nice of an achievement. Finally, you have your toothpick. I've never used this before in my life, and I don't see myself using it. But if you ever need something for a little poking device that's not very hard, I guess it does have a place. And the tweezers, which usually do come in handy for splinters or something that you have to grab on, something more of a delicate job. These tweezers are pretty decent for pulling splinters. Would be the most common thing you end up using it for. I think it's a nice combination of tools for a pocket knife that it's pretty small, pretty lightweight, and you could have it with you no matter how it is you have to dress in your daily normal life. Finally, this one probably has it as well. These have a small hole in there for a small pin. You can just put it in there, a small needle. It fits there nicely. I think I have one here. Yeah, in my Spartan. Not getting the camera to focus. I don't know why. And there it goes. I don't know why it doesn't come with one already, since you have it there. But the needle may be useful for something, especially if you magnetize a tip. It could be used as a small improvised compass of some sort, or for picking up stuff. Just one more thing, and since it really takes up pretty much no room and no weight at all, no reason so as to not have one of these. So basically that's it. It's a very classy piece, very classic as well. It is true that the plastic grips do wear a little bit as time goes by. How picky are you about that? I'm not that much. I'm perfectly okay. The Alux model with aluminum handled grips and such it does have that added value of looking maybe a little bit better, but you end up losing the tweezers and the toothpick. I'm okay with losing the toothpick. I'm not as okay losing the tweezers. So losing function just because of looks and aesthetics, it's not my kind of thing. Guys, consider it. The Victorinox Hiker model. It is one of the best-selling Victorinox models for a reason. It has pretty much everything you have in the Spartan. Everything you have, well, not everything you have in the Spartan, because the Spartan has the corkscrew, has everything you had in the Tinker, but with the saw. And the saw is definitely something you want to have in a multi-tool, in a pocket knife. I use it a lot in my pocket knife. I use it quite a bit in my here it is, multi-tool that lives in my pocket. So definitely see how other people may feel the same way and want to have it too. Other than that, you're not getting a ton of those things. You don't actually need much. Some people like scissors a lot. I've said it before, there's really nothing that you would be desperately needing a pair of scissors for that you cannot somewhat improvise with a knife. It's more of a matter of nice to have rather than a desperately needed thing. So I don't see, if you're going to be carrying it in more of a modern survival mentality, scissors are not as essential, not nearly as essential as some of the other tools that you do have. So it has a good amount of those basic, real necessity type of tools. Folks, as always, share the video if you like it. Take care, have a great day, and see you in the next video.